Welcome to another RSR. Tonight I'm reviewing MLS All-Stars 1, Liga MX All-Stars 4, and the MLS All-Star Game 2024. Liga MX, Victor, ganador. MLS All-Stars 1, Liga MX All-Stars 4. There you go. 1-4 esta noche. Liga MX wins their first of 3 of these All-Star games. They lost the first 2 of these League versus League All-Stars, and after a year break, they won this one because MLS, I don't think their passion was there. I think for a while in both halves, they were the better team. Then they got scored on, then they fell apart, then they started playing lackadaisically. The first 15 minutes of the All-Star game, MLS were the team going for goal, pushing the ball forward, being the better team, looking like they were more dangerous. Then in the 16th minute, Jonathan Dos Santos plays the ball in. Germán Berterame heads it into the net past Román Berkey to make it 1-0 or 0-1, 0-1 esta noche. Then a minute later, this is crazy, Cucho Hernandez ball's played in. It goes across goal. Cucho is barely onside, but he taps it in. He knocks it in past Malagon to make it 1-1, 1-1 esta noche. But in the 41st minute, Liga MX would take the late lead in the half because Usama Idrissi gets the ball off a short corner. He makes a run, rounds his way to the top of the box, and he lasers that ball past Román Berkey into the bottom corner. He didn't see it. He couldn't make the save, just a little bit late on the jump. 1-2, 1-2. Miro tiempo, 1-2, 1-2 at the half. And honestly, deserved for Liga MX because after that first goal, MLS just played lackadaisically. They played unconnected. This is not a normal Wilfried Nancy game. If you've watched the CCL, if you watched MLS, this was more like when Columbus had the shits against Pachuca, but instead of a normal Wilfried Nancy game. I don't know if the players wanted to play his system. I think he was forced to play players who didn't fit his system, like Sergio Busquets, especially in that first half. And I also think that having 3 days to basically try to do it your way and bet in your system with a lot of players that you don't have, that only see you twice a year, maybe once, isn't very workable. I think games like these, and Jardinet is a pretty good tactical manager as well, but games like these, you know why MLS won when Bob Bradley was the manager, and Heath was the manager, because they have no tactics. They could work with, hey, we're going to play the ball forward, we're going to be on the ball, we're going to hold possession, and hope our best players have some magic moments. That's what they do. And when you're playing Liga MX, when they were on a little bit of a downswing and they were beatable, and basically they weren't really used to you playing that way, it's easier to win. When you're trying to play an attacking style against another attacking style manager who has won 2 straight leagues, it's going to be, you know what, probably won't end well, especially when you only have to play for 3 days. Now, of course, you could say, but Wayne Rooney has no tactics. He got slapped up by Arsenal 5-0. Well, that's Arsenal. There's a difference, right? There's a difference. But I'll give Bob Bradley and Heath the benefit of the doubt. For games like the All-Star game where you only have them for 3 days, except your guys who you've had all year, depending on how many made it, yeah, it's going to probably look better if you just let your best players make their plays and basically relationism it without any tactics. But that probably, it didn't help that I think Wilfried Nancy wanted to do it his way. He wanted to play it his way, and I think it bit him in the ass. That's just my point. Especially in that first half when Sergio Busquets did not fit the system. Second half, Juan Brunetta. Well, in the second half to start it, before the Brunetta goal, MLS was hot. Luca Oriano was playing like the pest he is, in a good way. The man runs like the wind. He's a very good player. He's a tough player. He's a pest in all the best ways, especially if he's not playing your team. But when I say pest, I mean it in a very respectful way. He just plays like a pest. There you go. Bernardeschi looked amazing. Bouanga looked great. He didn't play much. They took him off basically at the first chance they could around the 70th minute, which is wild. But okay. Benteke didn't look that good. But MLS with Ricky Puig, Bernardeschi, Oriano, Bouanga, that looked That was how they looked the best all game. That was on fire. They were clicking on all cylinders. And then they get scored on by Juan Brunetta. The ball's played in. He's onside, but it gets to the front of the net. He taps it in. He's onside. Barely. I don't think so, but they give it. 68th minute, 1-3. 1-3. And then 2 minutes later, Liga MX gets another goal. Maximiliano Mesa gets the ball in the box, shoots it at Martin Paz, and nutmegs Martin Paz to make it 1-4, 1-4. And that's the way it would end. 1-4 on the night, 1-4 esta noche. Martin Paz legitimately blew this game. He is a horrible goalkeeper compared to Roman Burki and Hugo Lloris. Hugo Lloris did not allow any goals. Of course, Roman Burki allowed 2, but Martin Paz allowed the worst 2 because those were ugly. Roman Burki probably could have saved the header, but that Adrisi goal, nah, he couldn't have saved that. But I will tell you, both those goals on Paz, he is a horrible keeper for not saving those. He had a horrible night at the very least. He may just, I can't say he's a horrible keeper. He made the All-Star game, but I think Sean Johnson's better. Hell, Luka Gavron's probably better. Good job, man. Good job. Full-time stats are as follows. 23 shots to 17. 8 shots on goal to 6. 51% possession to 49% possession. 556 passes to 481. 481. 93% pass accuracy to 91. 9 fouls to 5. 2 offside to 1. 1 yellow card to 0. 0 red cards to 0. 7 corners to 5. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Because, of course, man, I don't think the passion was there. I think there are multiple things that went wrong for MLS tonight. Liga MX was the better team for a lot of this game. I will say that right now. Point blank period, better team. They played more like a team. They played together, and Jardinet's tactics did out-tactic Wilfried Nancy. Now, I think Wilfried Nancy galaxy-brained it. I think he wanted to do it his way. He's not going to coach a game and not do it his way. And I think a lot of these guys, Matthew Chouanier, will add him in there, considering he played for him when he was in Montreal. So, Matthew Chouanier, Moreira, Cucho, Rossi, Nagby, and Rudy Camacho, both from Montreal and Columbus, play his system. Most of this roster does not play his system. I don't think it's easy to get 3 days, Wilfried Nancy's system. I don't think so. And you saw it here. That's the first thing. I think he should have kept it simple, stupid. I know he's probably stubborn, but he should have kept it simple, stupid. Because, look at how this game went. You should have kept it simple, stupid. Because, let me tell you, 3 days with these players is not going to get them to play your way. I don't think so. Even if you have a lot of your guys from either club on the team. A good portion, I should say. I wouldn't say a lot. But a good portion, it's going to be hard to teach. It's going to be hard to figure out. And it's a very complex system. And as you can see, you ain't going to learn it in 3 days. That's the first problem. The second problem, I don't think Jardinet's is as complicated. And I think that's what really it was. And I also think the Liga MX players came out with a thing to prove, with a point to prove. They have cooked MLS this season, I think, Liga MX. But I will say this, I think these players came out with a point to prove. Some of them who've been to the Copa felt embarrassed. I think some of them who were around with other countries were also embarrassed with the other 2 All-Star games. I think it was a big, hey, we got to make a point. If we're going to do these again, we have to make a point. That this could be a rivalry, that we could even this series. We could get within 1 and even this series. And I think they wanted to make a point that the 2 times we saw them play up here, I think they wanted to prove that they're better than that. I think they did play trash. I think MLS were the better teams both times in these All-Star games. The 2 times that MLS won on penalties and then full regular time in 22. I think they wanted to make a point that this can be a series, this can be a rivalry, and that they can be the better team. And not every game's going to be won by the same team. You play it 10 times, you're going to win probably 7 if you're the better team. Right? Or the series. Probably going to win 7 if you're the better team overall. Sometimes it's just not your night. This wasn't MLS's night. But I think they galaxy-brained it compared to Jardinet. And I think that really helped. Now, I'm going to be mad at Don Garber. Don Garber, I feel like he forced on Wilfried Nancy playing Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets for 45 minutes. I think that was a bad idea. I think Sergio Busquets did not fit Nancy's system. He's one of the more glaring ones. Once he came off, especially that first 20 minutes of the second half, they looked so much more better. Ricky Puig playing in that system was so much better. Moise Bombito was so much better. Moreira so much better. Nagbe better. I think guys who fit his system more looked better in the second half, especially when MLS looked really hot. Busquets should not have played 45 minutes. He should have been one of the first guys off because I know they would have to play him. I knew they probably had to start him because Garber probably said something about it. But damn, Don, you got to want to win these games, not show your freaking trinkets or Messi's best friends because Messi ain't going to show up. By the way, Busquets was horrible at the skills challenge too. I mean, it was a bad 2 days for him. Really, it was. No. He only fits in Miami. He does not fit a system like a Jesse Marsch, a Wilfried Nancy, any type of really attacking system he does not fit. He should not have played this game as much as he did, and I think it set the tone for what this game was going to be. Jordi Alba a little bit the same, but at least he sort of held his own. But that first half was just absolutely horribly connected because of a guy like Busquets. Then you have a guy like Bernardeschi, Puig, Oriano. That first 20 minutes of the second half was amazing. I think MLS played so much better there. Now, they didn't keep it going, but it looked like they were going to dominate the game until I think Bouanga came off, and that's when things started to really fall apart. And Liga MX were very clinical at this game, and I think that's also something that really mattered. Now, I'm really mad at the selections. I think the selections were bad. I think the subs were bad from both ends, whether it was something Garber said do or Wilfried Nancy wanted to do. The subs were bad. I think Bouanga should have stayed on longer. It doesn't sound like he's carrying an injury. We'll find out. Bernardeschi played a whole half. That was great. He didn't do anything bad, so we love that for him. Bombito played well. Nagbe should have played longer, in my opinion. Maybe the whole second half. I think putting him in 60th minute while you're basically about to go down wasn't ever a smart decision, but I thought he held his own. Oriano should have played longer, for sure. Benteke should have never played. Cucho should have played longer. Rossi should have played longer. Busquets should have never played. Alba should have played shorter. But there's things that I could pick at. Like, the roster decisions from MLS weren't as good. I think the Liga MX roster decisions were, ironically enough, more game state based. I think Jardine made his decisions based on the game state, and I really think that changed things. Rondon, I'm surprised he didn't score, but Bombito made a really good pickpocket on him. Then you have guys like Brunetta and Memote. Memote, I think, was a good sub. He did hold up play well. But I think Jardine subbed due to game state. I think Wilfried Nancy did what he wanted to do, what he planned to do, and also what Don Garber told him to do. I think that's that. Was not a good night for MLS. I think they looked embarrassed. I think they got embarrassed, and you hate to see it. But Liga MX got one back. It's 2-1 in this series. Let's see what happens next year, because I guarantee you it will be Liga MX again. Let's see if they tie the series up or it goes back to 3-1. We'll find out. But Jesus, man. Petar Musa wasn't good either. It's like, wow. MLS really choked tonight, I think. They really choked, and I'm not happy with it. I'm really not happy with it. With that being said, I think, yeah, there we go. With that being said, if you like this video, like and share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put us to play. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow for my Leagues Cup prediction video. And then Friday, we'll be live for Orlando versus Montreal in the Leagues Cup. Toronto versus Red Bull. Red Bull versus Toronto on Saturday. Sunday, I think we're doing a double, but I'll check. With that being said, see you tomorrow. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. Felicidades Liga MX. Commiserations MLS. Peace.